You to the State House Conference Room, or Conference Center for an outside broadcast. DBS Radio bringing you live coverage of a very significant ceremony that recognizes people who have made and continue to make a very significant contribution to the development of agriculture in Dominica. Quite a few people are here already, and when you look at the agriculture sector and what it continues to do in light of food security and all of that, you'll understand why this ceremony is very, very important. It's the National Agriculture and Fisheries Awards ceremony in celebration of World Food Day 2023. Now, World Food Day obviously was observed in October 16th of this year, October 16 every year, World Food Day, but the recognition ceremony is taking place today at the State House Conference Center, organized by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. So quite a few of the awardees are here already. A lot of people will be recognized for their contribution to developing agriculture in Dominica. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, just a short while ago, made his entrance here. He is, of course, at the head table. And very soon we'll have the start of this ceremony. The State House Conference Center has been transformed somewhat. Not too long ago we were here for a very important function, but the whole ambience has changed now in terms of the decor and Dominica's agricultural produce, our flora, our fauna on display here at the conference center. So in a very short while we'll go over to the podium for the official start of this recognition ceremony, recognizing the people in agriculture. And so we await the official start. The Master of Ceremonies is Ms. Karen Prevost, the Secretary to the Cabinet.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, DAH, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Burton.
So the President of Dominica, Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, DAH, along with her husband, has just arrived.
I'm a beauty, I'm a splendor, I'm too so sweet and all must surely gaze in wonder at thy gifts so rich and rare. Rivers, valleys, hills and mountains, all these gifts we do extol. Healthy and so like our fountains, giving cheer that warms the soul. Dominica, God has blessed thee with a clime benign and bright, pastures green and flowers of beauty, filling all with pure delight, and a people strong and healthy, full of godly reverent fear. May we ever seek to praise thee for these gifts so rich and rare. Call
Come ye forward, sons and daughters of this gem beyond compare. Strive for honor, sons and daughters. Do the right, be firm, be fair. Toil with hearts and hands and voices. We must prosper, sound the call, in which everyone rejoices. All for each and each for all. Thank you very much to Abiya Israel for the rendition of the national anthem. Please remain standing as we invite Father Jody Andrew of Salt Ministries to offer with a prayer and thanksgiving. Pastor Jody Andrew, Salt Ministries.
Pleasant good afternoon, praise God. Let us pray. Creator of heaven and earth, we acknowledge your lordship over the earth, as your word declares that the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. We thank you today on World Foods Day for your sustenance and abundant provision that we do not take for granted. We pray for the nations that suffer hunger, that your supply would reach them. We thank you for this beautiful land, Dominica, that you have blessed us with, its fertile soil, an abundance of waters gushing forth, its blessed seas, and its hard-working farmers and fisher folk. Today we pray and make declarations that nature would work in our favor. The sun, the moon, the winds, and the rain, the beasts of the field, and every animal, for the fulfillment of your purpose for our nation. Spare us from natural disasters of every kind. We pray your blessing upon our Prime Minister and Cabinet, and leaders in the agricultural sector, and every agricultural organization. Give them continued wisdom and innovative ideas for the further development of this sector. We pray for our farmers for continued strength. Bless the work of their hands to yield great harvests. We thank you for the service and contribution of those receiving awards today, and pray renewed zeal and passion. We look forward to the fulfillment of your promise to us, to make us the food basket of the region. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor Andrew. Please be seated, everyone. Your Excellency, Sylvanie Burton, DAH, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Burton, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Honorable Melissa Skerrit, wife of the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Housing and Urban Development, and Parliamentary Representative for the Roseau Central Constituency, Honorable Roland Royer, Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Julian Defoe, Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Akia Joseph, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, other honorable members of Cabinet, Dr. Renata Clark, FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator for the Caribbean Food and Agriculture Organization, Mr. Ryan Anselm, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, other permanent secretaries, Pastor Jody Andrew, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are joining us here in person today, and as usual, those of you who are joining us online and listening via various forms of social media, good afternoon to all. We are pleased to be here today in celebration of World Food Day, and more specifically for the National Agriculture Fisheries Awards ceremony. Today we are here to celebrate and recognize the contributions of many of you within the agriculture sector. And this afternoon, to welcome you, I would like to invite Honorable Melissa Popon-Skerrit, Minister for Housing and Urban Renewal, and the parliamentary representative of the Rosal constituency, Rosal Central constituency, to offer welcome remarks.
Let me recognize the presence of Your Excellency Sylvanie Burton, the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Burton, Your Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, Honorable Roland Royer, the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Julian Defoe, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Lakia Joseph, the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, other honorable members of Cabinet, Dr. Renata Clark, FAO, Sub-Regional Coordinator for the Caribbean Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, Ms. Karen Prevost, Secretary to the Cabinet, other permanent secretaries, Pastor Jody Andrew, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct pleasure to extend a warm and hearty welcome to each and every one of you to the National Agriculture and Fisheries Awards ceremony in celebration of World Food Day 2023 here in our beautiful island, a testament to the bountiful gifts of Mother Nature. But there's something even more special about our gathering here today. We have chosen to convene in the heart of the most dynamic and vibrant constituency in our nation, the city of Rosal, a place where the past meets the present. Sorry, I must boast about my constituency all the time and every time I get an opportunity. Where tradition harmonizes with progress, and where the diverse rhythms of Dominican life come together in a harmonious blend. Dominica offers the perfect setting for celebrating World Food Day. Our natural beauty, cultural richness, commitment to sustainability, and a warm embrace of our people make it the best place to gather and reflect on the vital role of food in our lives. Our fertile lands and abundant seas have always been intertwined with our cultural identity and economic well-being. Our farmers and our fishermen, often working tirelessly in challenging conditions, they are the unsung heroes who feed our nation and contribute to our livelihoods. They are the embodiment of resilience and determination, and today we celebrate their dedication and their unwavering commitment to the food security of our nation and that of our neighboring countries as well. World Food Day is not just an occasion for celebration. It is a solemn reminder of our responsibility to ensure that every citizen has access to safe, nutritious, and affordable food. It is a call to action to eradicate hunger and poverty, to protect our environment, and to build a more equitable and sustainable future. Today, we gather not only to acknowledge and applaud the tireless efforts of our dedicated farmers and fishermen, but also to reflect on the profound theme of this year's celebration: water is life, water is food, leave no one behind. And this theme encapsulates the essence of global solidarity and collective action, calling upon us to join hands and ensure that no one is left behind in the transformative journey towards more efficient, inclusive, sustainable, and resilient agricultural food systems. And as we strive for better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and ultimately a better life for all, the importance of water cannot be overstated. It is indeed the lifeblood of agriculture and the sustenance of our very existence. As we come together to recognize and reward excellence in agriculture and fisheries, let us also take a moment to reflect on the challenges that confront the world. Climate change, water scarcity, and economic disparities are formidable hurdles that require innovative solutions and united efforts. The awards that we bestow today not only honor outstanding achievements, but also inspire us to work collaboratively towards a more food-secure and resilient Dominica. In the spirit of gender inclusivity, I would like to emphasize that today's award ceremony recognizes the contributions of both men and women in our agricultural and fisheries sector. As a patron for the Best Woman in Agriculture Award, I commit to provide mentorship and guidance to the recipient of this esteemed award and to champion the cause of gender inclusivity in agriculture and fisheries. This government firmly believes that gender should never be a barrier to success, and we are committed to fostering an environment where every individual has the opportunity to thrive and excel. And this is why in Rosa Central I have been pushing the hydroponics and the modern day farming, specifically with our young women and our young professionals who want an easier way of farming, a more modern way of farming. And we will be starting a course sometime next month with the help of the agriculturalists from the Chinese mission, who will be assisting us and showing us how to use the hydroponic systems. And so I'm appealing to the modern day farmers, young professionals, to explore this option. It's new and it's innovative. It's very simple and easy. It uses nutrient-rich water to grow crops instead of soil. Quite interesting. And so today I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the farmers, fishermen, the agri-entrepreneurs, the hucksters, the traders, the agriculture and fisheries staff, researchers, and everyone else who contributes to our food system. Your dedication is the driving force behind our progress and our target of 700 million contribution to our GDP by 2030. I would also like to thank our esteemed partners, both locally, regionally, and globally, for their unwavering support in our journey towards a better, more sustainable future. As we celebrate World Food Day, let us recommit ourselves to the values of solidarity, inclusivity, and sustainability. Together, we can ensure that no one is left behind on our path to a brighter and more nourished tomorrow. Thank you, welcome, and I wish you the most impactful World Food Day celebration.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, and we are really looking forward to some of these initiatives in the city of Roseau, the rooftop gardens and the hydroponics projects, and we can see some more agriculture in the city. Dominica is very fortunate to have the continued support of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. Today we are privileged to have Dr. Renata Clark, FAO's Regional Coordinator, to participate here in this celebration with us today. She has traveled to be with us today for this national award ceremony, and at this time I would like to invite Dr. Renata Clark, FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator, to offer some remarks.
The privilege is absolutely mine for having been invited here. And while protocols have been established, it's just so impressive to be here celebrating World Food Day, which is the core of FAO's mandate. It's such a privilege to be celebrating it with so many highest level of government people that I would like to repeat the greetings. Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Honorable Melissa Popon Skerrit, Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Minister Roland Royer, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and the Blue and Green Economy, Julian Defoe, Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, the Parliamentary Secretary, Lakia Joseph, Distinguished Secretary to the Cabinet, Karine Prevost, and distinguished permanent secretaries. It's really a privilege to be here with you and see the importance across the government that's being given to World Food Day. As many of you know, World Food Day is the 16th of October, so we're a little bit late celebrating it, but I find this is a good thing. It's given us a little bit more time to be reflecting on the important message of World Food Day that we've just heard from the previous speaker. But there is a shadow. Part of the delay was due to Tropical Storm Tammy, and it's a reminder of our vulnerability. We were lucky this time, but it is a reminder why Dominica set out to be the world's first climate resilient nation. And it is in this context that we keep working and the government keeps pushing for the development of an agricultural plan that demonstrates and manifests this resilience. So IECA, your other partner, or one of your other partner agencies in agriculture, took the lead in working with the government to develop the medium-term National Agricultural Policy 2021 to 2030. And FAO has taken the lead in developing a roadmap for implementing the agriculture sector transformation in support to the strategy. The overarching signal from the highest levels of government is that agriculture needs to generate more wealth for farmers and for agricultural entrepreneurs. They have set a high target. Agriculture should contribute at least 700 million to national GDP by 2030. And this roadmap on which we are working with government has to take us there. The thematic areas within the roadmap have been defined, and we are working closely with the ministry as they define the targets for critical areas such as the sustainable development of crops, livestock, and fisheries systems, for resilience in agriculture, for blue and green investments, and for research and development. So it's not just words, it is setting targets. And the rigor of the ministry in setting targets is inspiring. They are serious about the vision, and they are willing to be held accountable for progress. So the ministry is leading and inspiring, but they are also relying on partners like FAO, like IECA, like CARDI, and others to engage with equal seriousness on the journey. And we certainly hope to be up to the task. In relation to the sustainable development of crops, we have been taking a value chain approach, ensuring that farmers are producing for a market. We've done considerable work with cassava, and now we're engaging with dasheen. There have been excellent results so far in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we're looking to be extending that work in Dominica, that older vision of the OECS countries, and in particular the Windwards, working together for important agricultural delivery targets. We're looking to be exploiting the comparative advantage of land areas above 450 to 500 meters to be growing higher value fruit and vegetables for local and regional value chains, optimizing the value proposition for agriculture here in Dominica. Sustainable development of fisheries. At the regional level, we've been working with the countries of the Caribbean to improve fisheries data management systems, and national systems of governance over fisheries resources. We will continue to do this. Minister Defoe has highlighted aquaculture as an area of priority, and we're looking forward to be working with him to be developing mariculture and aquaculture, starting with pilots that allow us really to clarify the business case, and then letting business, the private sector, do what they should be doing to be expanding and building on good, proven ideas. In terms of resilience in agriculture, that other pillar of the roadmap, You know, the basic idea of resilience is that we drop less when there is a shock and we rise faster to minimize the time to recover. We are promoting precision irrigation that help farmers use just the right amount of water needed by crops and better manage the impacts of dry spells and droughts. We're supporting the design of an agriculture geoinformatics system that integrates risk signals, production and geographic databases that will allow farmers and the ministry to anticipate potential problems and avoid or at least minimize negative impact. We have been training drone teams that are able to produce maps in line with international best practice that will be used and are being used for better land use planning, and also as the basis for participatory disaster risk reduction planning at community level. We want Dominica to be a leader in resilience. Blue and green investments. We, FAO, we're a specialized technical agency. We're not a funding agency, so we don't directly invest, but we are doing all that we can to facilitate investment. Our value chain work is with an eye on the business case. When we can demonstrate feasibility, we can then be the effective bridge to investment. And we're aiming to do this increasingly. We have a project where we are working with a private sector entity with expertise in financing that's helping us to connect good agribusiness ideas to potential investors. In terms of public sector funding, we are working with national authorities to be mobilizing climate financing that will have a focus on investing in the green economy. And I've already mentioned the plans and the thoughts about aquaculture and mariculture in relation to the blue economy. It's important for us to keep our eye on the goal and make sure that we are walking on the path that will get us there most efficiently. So I wanted you also to be holding us, FAO, to account for the things that we say we are doing with you. But today is really about celebrating the high performers. It's about celebrating you for what you have done and the contribution that you have made. The country celebrates you to underline the importance of this contribution and to inspire others to get engaged in agriculture and to do so with head and with heart. We heard a lot from the previous speaker about modernizing agriculture. And yes, this we must. We can't expect change if we all keep doing the same things. So it is with this, in the spirit of innovation, in the spirit of determination, and in the spirit of accountability, that I look forward to the recognition of our leading performers, and I look forward to remaining a faithful partner to the government of Dominica, particularly to the Ministry of Agriculture in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Clark. And thank you for this excellent articulation of the support of the FAO to the government of Dominica and to our agriculture sector. I would also like to recognize today Honorable Joseph Isaac, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, someone I know who is very passionate about agriculture, and we're very happy for your support here today. At this time, our next speaker, a farmer himself, and at the helm of the Ministry of Agriculture, I would like to welcome Honorable Roland Royer, the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, and Blue and Green Economy, to address us.
Thank you, Capsec. I think I should be sitting on this side as a farmer, waiting on my award. But as said earlier, this ceremony we had to schedule for October 20th? Yes, 20th. Yes, 20th. But we were threatened by Hurricane Tammy, so we had to move it. The following week was Independence celebration, so this was the most convenient time we could have it. And Dr. Clark had to reschedule the flight to be with us today. So Dr. Clark, thank you. Thank you so much. Please let me recognize Your Excellency Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Burton, Honorable Ruth Skerrit, Prime Minister of Dominica, and his wife, Melissa Skerritt, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Joseph Isaac, Honorable Julian Defoe, Minister of State, in the Ministry of Agriculture, my colleague, Honorable Lakia Joseph, my colleague, Ministers of Cabinet, Dr. Renata Clark, FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Karen Prevost, Secretary to the Cabinet, Mr. Ryan Anselm, Acting PSA in Agriculture, other PSAs, Ms. Deandra Smith, Pastor Jody Andrew, media, distinguished guests, I can see students among us, staff of the Ministry of Agriculture, good afternoon. Today I feel very privileged and honored to stand here before you to acknowledge the achievements of our farmers, fishers, and other critical stakeholders who have consistently provided their services to ensure food and nutrition security on the island. The government has seen it fitting to show appreciation to stakeholders that stood out over the last year, while we applaud everyone in the sector for their efforts in working towards our $700 million target by 2030. The agricultural sector's performance at the end of 2022 revealed that agriculture contributed $274 million, or 16% to GDP. That's what was recorded. While the sector continues to remain the highest contributor to economic growth among the key productive sectors over the past 5 years, it is obvious that there is a significant gap between where we are and where we are heading. In response to this, we have mobilized resources for the implementation of the Sustainable Agriculture and Fisheries Investment Program, comprising 8 strategic programs, which focus on key areas such as youth in agriculture, crop and livestock expansion, commercialization of fisheries, agro-processing, and a special program for the development of the blue economy. Over the few months, the government has made strategic investments to ensure that sustainability of the sector continues by focusing on the following key agricultural infrastructure. We have received the shipment of the coffee roasting equipment from Milan, Italy, as part of our efforts at resuming coffee operations at 1 Mile. This project also will see the rehabilitation of the coffee plant, and we look forward to the commencement of works for the rehabilitation and establishment of new fields and the marketing of our local Dominica branded coffee. Work on the tissue culture facility at 1 Mile has progressed satisfactorily, with physical construction works scheduled for completion in February 2024. Several young Dominicans have completed training in tissue culture in China to commence operation by March 2024. The construction of a new abattoir is being advanced. Bids for designing and building the facility have been submitted, while we undertake short-term renovation to maintain operations. Works at our agricultural stations are a high priority, with plans to set up a new agricultural conference center in Gullet River, a new administrative and storage facilities at the Central Livestock Farm, and the rehabilitation and expansion of the Woodford Publication Station. Tenders for these facilities should be published by the end of this month. Over 200 livestock farmers have received building materials to build improved, resilient farm structures, and efforts are placed in the introduction of modern agricultural technologies in irrigation, hydroponics, and protected greenhouse structures to address some of the key challenges faced by our crop farmers today. Expressions of interest were received to conduct the assessment for the rehabilitation and upgrade of 8 fish landing sites. And we are in the process of finalizing the contract to engage 5 boat builders for the construction of 65 fishing boats to be provided to fishers. Ladies and gentlemen, these investments are worth $35,782,000. As we expand the economy through investments in tourism, agriculture, access, and the blue economy, we anticipate the need for increased agricultural output to supply food and raw materials. This increase in agricultural output depends on all of us, which includes our farmers, fishers, agro-processors, the farm workers, agricultural input suppliers, financial institutions, hucksters, hotels, restaurants, supermarkets, and the list goes on. But most importantly, our extension officers. Recognize that our extension officers serve as a bridge, the critical link between producers and consumers. They inspire hope, fertilize producers' aspiration, and create the environment for producers to make their own decisions, either producer groups or as individuals. In recognition of their role as educators, friends, and guides, we have decided to recognize the most outstanding extension officer every year. So we challenge each officer to give your best while providing the critical service to our farmers. We also take this opportunity to express our heartfelt thanks to our immediate past agricultural extension officers. Special commendations to Mr. Philip Leslie, whose tenure as the head of extension services ended in February this year, and Mr. Reveler St. Rose, who retired as team leader in the Northeast Agricultural Region last year. These gentlemen have contributed significantly to the sector as technicians and managers and have enhanced the livelihoods of several farmers and farm families across the island. I also want to recognize the contribution of Mr. Joseph Blanford, who retired as the head of the Plant Propagation Unit, and Alfonso Di Gallery for his service to the Division of Agriculture. We also recognize Ms. Glenda Thomas, who retired as a facility manager at the Portsmouth Fisheries Complex, and Evelyn Adams, who also retired as a data collector at the Fisheries Division. We thank all of you for your service and wish you a restful and happy retirement. But today we are mainly here to celebrate our farmers and fishers. We will not ignore the contributions to our farmers, fishers, and agro-processors as stewards of national food sovereignty, ensuring that our soils maintain their productivity, that the land is not compromised from reckless use of harmful substances, and the assurance that our food is safe for human consumption. This is the main reason we have put aside this moment dedicated to our processors and producers. This ceremony is therefore devoted to them, which for all intents and purposes provides us with an opportunity to thank them for their contributions. Each day, they rise in selfless toil and sweat to supply agricultural products consistently to the markets. It is their hard work and willingness to face the challenges of the day, such as the impact of climate change, that we can put food on our tables. Dear farmers, fishers, agro-processors, we salute you today, and we ask that you continue to work closely with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries as we build a sustainable agriculture sector. I wish to congratulate all of the persons who will be recognized today and hope that it serves as an inspiration for others. Before I end, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister for his continued support and guidance provided to the ministry. And I would also like to say a special thanks to Dr. Clark of the FAO for partnering with us on this special occasion, and to all our sponsors of this event. The list is too long. The person who's saying the vote of thanks will go in detail. And we say thank you, and we are looking forward to our partnership next year around the same time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. And I would like to join with the Minister in recognizing all of our awardees who are present here today. And that includes all of the public officers who we are celebrating, who have retired and have provided significant service to the government of Dominica. So again, many thanks to you. At this time, we would like to re-invite Ms. Abia Israel to perform for us this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Started one time. All right. I just want to say thank you for inviting me to this lovely ceremony. I normally start with shalom. Shalom, greeting you in peace. It's Hebrew for peace. And I'm going to sing one of my newest release, Kadas Lipso release, called Belpei, which means beautiful country, for those who do not speak Creole. Let's go.
Sekane, nous quitter Angleterre, nous lever, nous dire après border c'est la terre, nous travaillons pour nous prospérer, il est pour célébrer les évlamés, Dominique c'est un bel pays, on paradis, travaille ensemble à nous bâtir pays nous, respecter chaque monde, yon aider l'autre. Changer qui mounouye, whitey couboule. 45 years since we ran away from England. We stood up and told them after God the earth. Working hard so that we could prosper. Now it's time to celebrate. Lift up your hands. Dominique, say your bel pays. Yon paradis, travaille ensemble à nous bâtir pays nous. Respecter chaque monde, yon aider l'autre. Changer qui mounouye, whitey couboule. Kawat sekane, nous quitter Angleterre, nous lever, nous dire après border c'est la terre, nous travaillons pour nous prospérer, ça pour célébrer, lever la main, Dominique c'est un bel pays, un paradis, travaille ensemble à nous bâtir pays nous, respecter chaque monde, yon aider l'autre. Changer qui mounouye, whitey couboule. C'est un bel pays, yon paradis. Travaille ensemble à nous bâtir pays nous. Respecter chaque monde, yon aider l'autre. Changer qui mounouye, whitey couboule.
Normally I do a dance for you, but the mic can't move. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abia Israel. Beautiful song about a beautiful country. We do appreciate this performance. This government leads by example in many ways. I know lots of us here, not us, lots of you here are farmers. Her Excellency and her husband are farmers. We have ministers who are farmers. The Speaker is a farmer. The Minister of Agriculture is a farmer. But one of the most outstanding farmers, probably one who is not being awarded today, is our next speaker. And I am very pleased to welcome and invite the Honorable Prime Minister, Roosevelt Skerrit, to address us today. He's very passionate about the agriculture sector, and we're happy that he's here with us today.
Thank you very much. Let me, first of all, recognize our President, Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, and Mr. Burton, Honorable Joseph Isaac, Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Minister Skerrit, Member of Parliament for the Roseau Central constituency, Honorable Roland Royer, the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Julian Defoe, Minister of State, Honorable Lakia Joseph, Parliamentary Secretary, my other honorable colleagues present, Dr. Renato Clark, FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator for the Caribbean Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Ms. Corinne Prevost, Secretary to the Cabinet, Mr. Ryan Anselm, Permanent Secretary acting in the Ministry of Agriculture, other permanent secretaries, Mrs. Dion Smith, Government Press Secretary, Pastor Jody Andrew, members of the media, distinguished guests, students, ladies and gentlemen, friends all, good afternoon. I extend heartiest congratulations to the farmers, fishers, and other agricultural stakeholders who have been honored here today. I also commend the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy for conceptualizing this awards ceremony to highlight and reward the important work being done by so many within the sector to grow Dominica's agricultural economy. This awards ceremony is an indicator of the significance this government attaches to the agricultural sector and to the people who ensure its sustainability. You, our farmers and fishers, are the heart of the industry, and we value your commitment to ensuring that our citizens have access to sufficient, nutritious, and safe food. Your efforts are helping to sustain our population and drive economic development. In the coming years, we will depend even more heavily on you to build our food and agricultural industries into stronger, more efficient production systems, which can withstand the impact of climate change and other adverse global impacts. I do not have to remind you that here in Dominica, we are extremely vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. As global temperatures rise and we experience more frequent and extreme weather events, food production will become more uncertain, and there's likely to be a negative impact on food security. In fact, we are already experiencing this. Think back to last year and the disruption of our food systems in Casa Bruce and the entire Southeast following the November trough. Farmers experienced firsthand how climate change can destroy their livelihoods in the blink of an eye and reverse all the hard work put into cultivation and farm production. But these challenges serve to remind us of our role in the regional and global mission for food security and sustainable agriculture practices. These are all the reasons why this government has advocated for a national reset in agriculture, one that increases production in the sector up to $700 million yearly to the national economy by 2030. This is why we have increased investment in agricultural infrastructure, diversification of crops and food sources, and agro-processing enterprises, and provided startup assistance for more of our young people to get involved into the sector. To encourage farmer participation and increase exports, We have empowered Dexia with a revolving fund for prompt payments to farmers and the offer of credit to hucksters. And we're exploring new markets while seeking to regain lost market share in the region and further afield. And we demonstrated how the revolving fund can work, because we have directed Dexia to pay the farmers within 48 hours of receiving their produce. And we purchased bay oil from Sansover and paid it on Wednesday. And farmers received their checks this morning within 48 hours. And so we have also shifted attention to opportunities in the blue economy and are exploring a number of initiatives to expand the fishing subsector and help our fishers to increase their catch. For these efforts to bear fruit, we will need to motivate our farmers to raise farm productivity and build resilience to climate change. And we will have to continue empowering our fishermen with improved facilities and equipment to support their trade. Government investment, however, must be met with an increasing willingness by more of our people, especially our youth, to get involved in the sector. As you all know, I myself am an avid farmer, and I believe in agriculture. So I understand better than most the hard work and commitment it takes to run a successful farm enterprise. I know that if approached seriously and in a business-like manner, agriculture can yield significant revenue and serve as a sound base for economic growth in our country. I take this opportunity, therefore, to encourage all of you who are already well established to keep at it, continue to work the land, and I assure you that you will have the full support of this government. To those of you just getting into the industry, you can be important drivers. You have the capacity to make agriculture smart through the use of technology and innovative solutions. There are opportunities for youth in fisheries and aquaculture, livestock, and across the value chain. You can take the lead in moving us to more modern agricultural methods and a commercially oriented sector. You can be the new agriculture entrepreneurs now and into the future. Take advantage of the opportunities available for startup funding and technical support. Speak to your extension officer or even to your parliamentary representative and allow them to guide you in the right direction. I have had the privilege of witnessing the tenacity and the passion of our farmers and fishermen throughout my tenure as Prime Minister. Today, I see several of you here who have been consistent in your contribution to national food security and the survival of our agricultural systems. And I want to especially recognize my friend, Mr. Louis, who is here for us today. Your hard work ensures that Dominica's table is always filled and adds to our national legacy of self-reliance. Today, we celebrate you for your industry and for your deep-rooted love for the land and sea. Dominica salutes you for your achievements and for your dedication. But I want to say to all of us who are extending the courtesy of listening to me, both present and those listening, more important, those listening outside of the ceremony, that for agriculture to truly reach its potential, we must consume what we grow in Dominica. If we do that, we are making a huge contribution to our country's development, reducing our food import bill, ensuring that we do not have the limited foreign exchange sent out of our country, and ensuring that we maintain healthy lifestyles and good health, because we have to combat CNCDs. And we have to continue using more of our local fruits for our juices. Thank God, so far, we may be among the few countries in the world where when you go to a restaurant, they can offer you local juices, and truly local juices. And we have to maintain that legacy for future generations. But for it to be maintained, not only by the government and by the farmers who are here, but by us, the consumers in Dominica. And it's all left to us to do that. I also salute the efforts of the 3 young stewards of the Ministerial Agriculture, Fisheries, and the Blue and Green Economy. Honorable Roye has shown exceptional leadership in refocusing the sector, ensuring that practitioners are heard and their needs addressed. It is work in progress, but I think the minister has already taken key steps to reignite the passion for the sector, and I applaud him for his initiative. Both Honorable Defoe and Honorable Joseph have shown great enthusiasm for pushing the fisheries and agro-enterprise subsectors forward. And I believe we are on the right path to realizing significant innovations in these areas. The 3 ministers have my fullest confidence, trust, and support. And I do not give marks for free. So they're all very deserving of my commendation. The staff of the ministry seem rejuvenated, and their collective efforts have not gone unnoticed. Indeed, this renewed enthusiasm explains why we're here today for an event which celebrates our farmers, fishers, and farmer organizations. We are also here because this government has placed agriculture at the forefront of its development priorities. I ask for your continued support in reaching our goals for sustained growth in the subsector. I want to say to the Minister for Agriculture that we will make this an annual event where we recognize our farmers, fishermen, fisherfolk, and agro-processors. I want to thank Her Excellency and Mr. Burton for your presence, and it shows that at all levels of the governance of the country, we appreciate agriculture. And of course, the Speaker of the House is present. So there's nowhere in the world where you will, at an agricultural function, you will meet the President, the Prime Minister, and the Speaker celebrating with our farmers. And so all levels of the government of the country will salute the farmers. And so I am very happy to be here to celebrate with you. It's hard work, but you know, as farmers, our reward really is in heaven. But you are making a huge impact on the lives and livelihoods of our society and the health of our society. And so consumers consume local. Consume local. If we consume local, these farmers will become millionaires. Go to the supermarket, ask for the local chicken. Let us put the rice aside and buy our dashing and yams. Sweet potato has all sorts of nutrients in it. The challenge. So if you want farming to really grow, Dominicans, show me your money and show me what's on your plate. And I'll tell you whether you, in fact, making your contribution. God bless you, my dear farmers, agro-processors, and fisherfolk. You are our national heroes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, and I am pretty sure that we all appreciate the encouragement to our farmers here today, and a reminder that we need to consume what we grow, consume what we produce. A few weeks ago, during the independence, we were at the Tea Village Creole, and there were so many local items available on sale. I do hope that we continue to patronize our local producers, agro-producers, farmers, and fishermen. At this time, the reason that we are all here today to award our farmers and fishermen, agro-processors, I would like to invite Mrs. Dion Durant-Smith to assist with the citations and the categories for the awards presented here today. Mrs. Smith.
Good afternoon, everyone. These are the long service. All right, we will begin with our long service awardees, and we begin with Miss Glenda Thomas. Right, Ms. Thomas, if you're present, please make your way to the front, and we'll follow that structure, that order going forward. When your name is announced, come forward. Miss Glenda Thomas, Long Service Awardee. If she's not yet here, we will continue with Miss Havelyn Adams. Miss Havelyn Adams. Okay. "17 years ago, Ms. Havelyn Adams walked into this challenging sector as a data collector for the fishing village of Scotshead. Havelyn Adams quickly became a gem to the fishery sector, and today we recognize Ms. Adams for her exemplary work ethic, team spirit, generous support to fisher folk, and commitment to the sector. Mr. Felix Leslie, Long Service Awardee. All right, Mr. Joseph Blandford. Mr. Alfonso de Gallery. Mr. Revilius St. Rose. And Mr. Simeon Revilius St. Rose, known to all the staff that has been assigned to the Northeast Agricultural Region as bossman, has been an exceptional leader in the Ministry of Agriculture. St. Rose, as most persons refer to him, was formerly trained at the Eastern Caribbean Institute for Agriculture and Forestry in Trinidad, like many proud extension officers in that period. Mr. Revilius St. Rose joined the Ministry of Agriculture in 1986 as a young field officer and quickly played a critical role in the coconut rehabilitation project which was taking place at that time. Being from Atkinson and having ties to the Kalinago territory, he was critical in the establishment of the Panama Tall Knot, a famous landmark in the territory up until Hurricane Maria. He further showed his innovation, being the coordinator for and the introduction of passion fruit to the said area, a crop which is still a major income earner for many farmers. He revolutionized the techniques of growing from the single-line fence system to what we now know as the canopy system. As a member of staff in the Northeast, he also championed the improvements of livelihoods, the true definition of extension, through new innovation by encouraging many farmers to invest in citrus. As team leader of the Northeast, where he got the name Bossman, He inspired many young officers working under his command. Mr. Revelius St. Rose still remains a pillar of support and strength and offers his service to the sector on a regular basis. Mr. Felix Leslie. Mr. Felix Leslie is today being honored for his excellent leadership and contribution to the development of the agriculture sector in Dominica. It can be said that Mr. Leslie performed excellent service to the sector since he dedicated 41 years and 11 months of his life to his passion, serving the farmers of Dominica through various positions within the Division of Agriculture. Mr. Leslie's career began on June 1, 1981, as a propagator at the 1 Mile Agricultural Station and culminated on May 23, 2023, as a technical officer of extension. The true definition of attainment of success through passion, perseverance, and in his case, incorporation of prayer. During these 41 years of service, Lezo, or Mr. Les, as he was affectionately called by his colleagues, was engaged in various aspects in the sector on his ascension to the top extension man on island. He is part of the team responsible for the Tree Crops Project, the Canadian International Development Agency CEDA project, and the Coffee Development Project. Always one for personal development, Mr. Leslie obtained a diploma in tropical agriculture, a certificate in agricultural extension management, and a Master's of Science degree in tropical agricultural development. Without a doubt, the entire agricultural community is proud of Mr. Felix Leslie, the recipient of the Long Service Award. Mr. Joseph Blanford. It is with great pride that we present Mr. Joseph Blanford with this award as a celebration of his long service to the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, and the agricultural community of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Blanford, or Blanfy, as he is affectionately called by his peers, dedicated 40 years to the service of Dominica and specifically the farming population. Upon entering the service on July 1, 1982, Blanford held various positions which allowed him to develop a wealth of knowledge second to none within the ranks of the Division of Agriculture. As head of the Plant Propagation Unit and Nursery Management, Mr. Blanford made certain that there was no scarcity of tree crops in the best possible health readily available to farmers at the various agricultural stations which were under his supervision. His talents in propagation and tree crops led to him becoming the coordinator of the citrus certification program following the introduction of the citrus tristeza virus. However, let it be known that Blanfy's talents are not only limited to tree crops, as he served as team leader of the Southeast Agricultural Region, National Pesticide Inspector of the Pesticide Control Board, acting head of the Crop Protection and Plant Protection and Quarantine Unit. The ministry has depended on Blanford for guidance and counsel countless times in these areas, and he has willingly provided mentorship and training to the entire extension staff in various aspects of plant propagation. Though very serious in his approach to work and life, from his student days at the Eastern Caribbean Institute for Agriculture and Forestry, he has always been very focused and staff-oriented. Mr. Blanford is surely deserving of this long service recognition. If Mr. De Gallery is not present, we'll move on now to our Farmer and Fisher awardees.
Sorry. At this time, we now invite Honorable Melissa Poppons-Skerrit to deliver the next 3 awards. And these awards are sponsored by the West Coast Cooperative and Agri Sales and Services.
The Pierre Charles Secondary School Most Outstanding Secondary School Agricultural Program of the Year. Since its inception in 1999, PCSS has maintained an agricultural program of remarkable breadth, encompassing courses in animal husbandry, plant production, crop production for CXC school-based assessments, agricultural science, and agricultural economics. Presently, the school boasts 3 greenhouses, a poultry house, a livestock unit, and a propagation unit, all contributing to an immersive learning experience for its students. Practical exposure is an integral part of the curriculum, with students participating in field trips to local farms and agricultural institutions. They are deeply involved in hands-on projects such as the raising of rabbits and broilers, crop cultivation, management of the school's greenhouses, and rigorous agricultural research. The institution enjoys a strong partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, offering essential financial support, technical guidance, and training opportunities. Additionally, PCSS holds membership in the esteemed Caribbean Agriculture Research and Development Institute, CARDI, facilitating access to invaluable research, resources, and expertise. In summary, Pierre Charles Secondary School stands as a preeminent institution in the realm of agricultural education and research. Its impact extends far beyond the classroom, contributing to the prosperity of Dominica and the wider Caribbean. Daly's Primary School, or rather Daly's. Daly's Primary School Most Outstanding Primary School Agricultural Program of the Year. The Daly's Primary School has a very strong foundation of school agriculture. Blessed with more land space than most primary schools, agriculture would have been an obvious undertaking. Also, given that the Daly's community is wholly agrarian-based, support for the school production activity was commonplace. Parents, teachers, and community leaders contributed to building on the strong agriculture foundation from 1985. During the junior secondary program, JSP era, the school garden boasted a variety of vegetables, root crops, and fruit trees, including citrus and horticultural crops such as pineapple, passion fruit, and papaya. Sheep rearing formed part of the program to the continued delight of the students. It can be said that the establishment of many farms in the late 1990s to early 2000s formed their genesis at the Daly's Primary School. Today, the school continues to show increased efforts in expanding its agriculture program and collaborates with the community, Ministry of Agriculture, and other partners to develop a model school garden to be emulated by other schools on the island. The teachers, students, and community will continue to provide support to this innovative Daly's Primary School to be given the School Agricultural Program seal of approval. Mr. Edmund Thomas, Best Backyard Farmer of the Year. Edmund Thomas, hailing from Marigot, epitomizes innovation and resilience in modern sustainable agriculture. With a robust farming career spanning 50 years, he has adeptly transitioned to backyard gardening, focusing on a variety of vegetables, including lettuce, cucumber, and an assortment of green seasonings. Distinctively, Edmund integrates recycled soda bottles at bed borders, a technique initiated by gathering discarded containers from roadsides, rivers, and coastal areas, underscoring his commitment to environmental stewardship. Initially met with skepticism and derision, his unconventional approach to sustainable bed construction has been vindicated, as those who once mocked him have adopted his methods. Deepening his sustainable approach, Mr. Thomas practices organic farming. He ingeniously recycles waste from his kitchen and livestock, eliminating the need for conventional fertilizers and promoting a regenerative ecosystem within his garden. More than just a hobby, backyard farming has become the backbone of his household income. Edmund Thomas's journey is a compelling reminder of the significant impacts of sustainable practices and resourcefulness, extending beyond agricultural yield to community food supply and environmental conservation. Mr. Thomas is well deserving of this Best Backyard Farmer of the Year award.
Thank you very much, Honorable Skerrit. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Marlon Murray, if he's here. Is Mr. Murray here? Okay, if not, the Minister for Agriculture will present the next award. And this award is actually sponsored by the UN Resident Coordinator's Office in Dominica.
The award is to Mr. Jeffrey Bruni, Most Resilient Farmer of the Year. Mr. Jeffrey Bruni hails from the village of Tibo and has approximately a quarter of a century of farming experience in crop production. He has acquired ample skills and knowledge in agricultural technology, innovation, and resilience while residing overseas. He is a very visionary, dedicated, and industrious farmer. Presently, his two sites of 15.5 acres of arable land in Beauplan and Picard can be described as models for other farmers. Mr. Bruni successfully showcases irrigation systems, water harvesting, greenhouse technologies, and compost production on the farm in Beauplan. His goal is to establish a fully resilient farm, incorporating climate-smart technology to bounce back should an event happen, including that from wind, floods, or droughts. Mr. Bruni plans his farm activities strategically to mitigate potential arising risks. Currently existing on the farm are the following crops: tomatoes, watermelons, plantain, vanilla, dwarf nuts, guavas, soursop, cantaloupe, and squash. In addition, Mr. Bruni has successfully established over 2,500 fruit trees and vegetable varieties. Mr. Bruni employs 2 full-time workers and casual labor as the need arises. To date, the North Agricultural Region staff and the Division of Agriculture boast Mr. Jeffrey Bruni as the most resilient, innovative, and technologically driven farmer in Dominica.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Just as a note of correction, the Most Outstanding Secondary School Agricultural Program and the Most Outstanding Primary School Agricultural Program Awards are sponsored by the Central Cooperative Credit Union, and the representative is with us today. So the Central Cooperative Credit Union, we thank you for your support to the Secondary School Agriculture Program and the Primary School Agriculture Program. I would like to invite Dr. Renata Clark to present the next 2 awards. And these awards are sponsored by Bloombox and WSC. Bloombox and WSC.
Mr. Vince Morgan, Most Innovative and Technologically Driven Farmer of the Year. Is Mr. Morgan here? No? Okay. Mrs. Gilles Carbon John Baptist, Most Outstanding Woman in Sustainable Agriculture. Mrs. Gilles Carbon John Baptist is no doubt one of the most resilient women farmers in Dominica. Born in 1961 in Capuchin, Mrs. Carbon John Baptist has amassed 42 years of sustainable farming experience on her 7-acre farm. Her business-like approach has set her apart from other farmers. Her knowledge in production of both crops and livestock has provided a steady revenue stream for herself and family. She cultivates a variety of crops to include tree crops, anthuriums, cantaloupes, turmeric, vegetables, and seasonal white potatoes and onions. Additionally, her stock of animals includes goats, broilers, and layers. When speaking about someone who respects and cares for the environment, the name Gilles must be mentioned. She's involved in green manuring, mixed farming, rainwater harvesting, reforestation, composting, natural alternative inputs to include fertilizer, tea, and insecticide production. Such practices have greatly decreased her dependency on the use of synthetic fertilizers and offers protection to the environment. Furthermore, she adopts the fundamental principles of good agricultural practices on her farm. She plays a pivotal role in the dissemination of information to farmers and makes her farm available for trainings and demonstrations upon request by the Ministry of Agriculture. She's a member of the Northeast Women in Agriculture, president of the Capuchin Farmers Group, leader of the Capuchin Cultural Group, a lay associate in pastoral care, a justice of the peace, counselor of the Capuchin Clifton Village Council, and a community volunteer. She has positively impacted the agricultural sector in the Commonwealth of Dominica by demonstrating her willingness to create opportunities for the youth, attending and participating in all training and programs, contributing to the efforts of food security, protecting our natural environment, and helping to boost agricultural development in her community and surrounding villages. She is a regular contributor to the annual Minister's Food Basket, an outreach program given to vulnerable institutions. Mrs. Gilles Carbon John Baptist, Most Outstanding Woman in Agriculture.
Thank you very much, Dr. Clark, and thank you also to the World University Service of Canada. That's what WUSC means. And thank you for the contribution to this award. At this time, I would like to invite Honorable Lakia Joseph to present the next 2 awards. And these awards are sponsored by the National Bank of Dominica and the Aid Bank.
Glenworth Cassava Man Cereal, Most Productive Traditional Crop Enterprise of the Year. Born in 1980, Glenworth Cereal grew up in Calabishi to an agricultural family which was already involved in cassava production. After college, he chose not to migrate for studies or employment like the majority of his peers, but to help his mother on the farm. The crops were mixed with mostly bananas, coconuts, citrus, and cassava. 10 years ago, while living at Jimmet, his mother decided to harvest her cassava crop, which she processed into bread. Due to the unexpected success, a business venture was then developed by Mr. Cereal. As an innovator, he wanted to make the process less cumbersome and more efficient, so he got a grill from a friend, which enhanced the process tremendously. His first big appearance was at an event at Londonderry, where 100 pounds of cassava was quickly transformed into an income of $600, creating the platform for the Cassava Man. The Cassava Man has perfected all things cassava and has created a diverse mix of products: cassava pizza, cassava wraps, cassava bread infused with ginger, spices, and various other items, which are enjoyed by all. Mr. Cereal foresees expansion of his business, going into private cassava production and becoming a household name, not only in Dominica, but further afield. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy is pleased to present Mr. Glenworth, Cassava Man Cereal, with the award for the Most Productive Traditional Crop Enterprise of the Year award. Ms. Terry Henry, Dominica Agro Processor of the Year. Situated in the West Agricultural Region, Be Natural is an agro-processing business founded and operated by Mrs. Terry Henry from 2018, that is post-Hurricane Maria. Her business is centered on creating natural personal care products from locally untreated beeswax to include natural deodorants, aromatherapy lip balms, therapeutic body balms, luxurious body butter, aromatic soaps, and pure beeswax candles. Be Natural incorporates locally sourced ingredients such as castor oil, cocoa butter, coffee, cocoa, cinnamon, cannabis, and turmeric. The best-selling Be Natural products are the 100% natural deodorants, which have received great reviews from clients. These 7 array of deodorants have been clinically certified as safe by Société Générale de Surveillance, SGS, Ideas Lab. Apart from manufacturing these natural products, Be Natural also plays a very important role in the expanding of the apiculture industry in Dominica. Ms. Terry Henry is presently the Secretary of the National Beekeepers Cooperative and arranges beekeeping and farm tours, providing clients with opportunities to learn about bees and pollinators generally. Ms. Terry Henry, Dominica Agro Processor of the Year.
Thank you very much, Honorable Lakia Joseph, and we also would like to say thank you to the National Bank of Dominica and the Aid Bank for contributing to these awards. I would like to invite Honorable Julian Defoe to present the next 2 awards, and these awards are sponsored by the National Development Foundation of Dominica, the NDFD, and AutoTrade.
Dominica Aquaculture Producer of the Year, Mr. Marvin Daniel. Dominica Fisher of the Year, Mr. Kerwin Deluge. Mr. Kerwin Deluge was born and raised in the fishing community of Dubla. Mr. Deluge's father, Mr. Benjamin Deluge, was also a fisher, from whom he learned his fishing skills and grew the passion for fishing. Fishing has been his main source of income over the years, which supports himself and his family comfortably. His main types of fishing methods include, but are not limited to FAD, FAD, net, and longline. Mr. Deluge is an active member of the Dubla Fishing Group and has participated in fisheries activities and submission of fishing activity data. This data is used for decision-making and research within the fisheries sector. On numerous occasions, Mr. Deluge, through his fisher group, has donated fish to institutions such as the hospital, Grotto Home for the Homeless, the prison, and the Dominica Association of Disabled People. We commend Mr. Kerwin Deluge for his contribution towards building a fisheries sector that is resilient. The Dominica Fisher of the Year, Kerwin Deluge.
Thank you very much, Honorable Defoe, and we say thanks to the Auto Trade for this award and to the NDFD for the Dominica Aquaculture Producer of the Year Award. I would like to invite Honorable Roland Royer, the Minister for Agriculture, to present the next few awards. And the Most Outstanding Producer Organization Award is sponsored by the Ministry of Agriculture. The Most Outstanding Agricultural Service Provider of the Year is sponsored by Springfield Trading. Jacko Feeds is sponsoring the Most Outstanding Livestock Farmer of the Year. We also have Pinnacle Law Chambers as the sponsor of the Most Outstanding Extension Officer of the Year, and Jungle Bay as the sponsor of the Long-Serving Farmer Fisher Recognition Award, and WSC again sponsoring the Dominica Youth in Sustainable Agriculture of the Year Award.
Most Outstanding Producer Organization of the Year, the Central Universal Farmers Group. In the wake of the catastrophic Hurricane Maria, which ravaged Dominica in 2017, the agriculture sector was certainly not spared. In response to this crisis, the Central Universal Farmers Group was formed. This non-profit, at its commencement, had 10 members, including one young man. Fueled by collective action, the premise for the group's journey included learning, demonstrations, management, and governance. This is underpinned by the group's core values of engaging, training, and educating women in sustainable agriculture, introducing new and advanced technologies in agriculture, and enhancing the livelihoods of the farming community. Viewed as one of the principal farmers group, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy has worked in collaboration with the Central Universal Farmers Group to mobilize resources from organizations such as the United Nations Development Fund, the World University Services of Canada, Environmental Health Department, Dominica Bureau of Standards in various areas including capacity building, agricultural health, food safety, and in obtaining materials and tools for farm interventions. As a community-focused organization, Central Universal Farmers Group is dedicated to being an integral part of the collaborative effort to enhance the livelihoods of farmers and strengthen the agricultural sector. The group comes highly recommended by the Ministry of Agriculture as a recipient for the Most Outstanding Producer Organization Award. Most Outstanding Agricultural Service Provider of the Year, Odile Valmond. Odile Valmond stands as a venerable figure in the agricultural realm. boasting an impressive legacy that spans 4 decades. With a passion deeply rooted in the soil, Mr. Valmont has tirelessly served as both a farmer and an agri-service provider, leaving an indelible mark on the industry. His journey is a testament to unwavering dedication, expertise, and a profound commitment to sustainable farming practices. For more than 40 years, Mr. Valmont has been a beacon of knowledge and innovation, cultivating not only crops, but also fostering growth within the agricultural community, especially providing export market opportunities in the USA. His wealth of experience encompasses diverse fields such as crop cultivation and cutting-edge agricultural techniques, particularly in irrigation. This extensive expertise has not only propelled his own farm to new heights of success, but has also enriched the practices of countless other farmers under his mentorship. Mr. Valmont's contributions extend far beyond his technical skills. Through his business, Natural Farming and Water Solutions, which has become a household name to all, Mr. Valmont's enduring commitment to sustainable farming practices has set a standard for excellence, making him a respected authority in the industry. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy is proud to present Mr. Odile Valmont with the Most Outstanding Agricultural Service Provider of the Year award. Most Outstanding Livestock Farmer of the Year, Samuel Paquette. That's Sammy, for those of us who purchase from him every Saturday. Mr. Samuel Paquette is a bona fide livestock farmer with a remarkable career spanning over 3 decades. His journey in the livestock industry began at the age of 14 when he served as an apprentice, assisting the renowned local butcher Sanson Angol, who was already widely recognized as the #1 butcher in the area. With unwavering dedication and a passion for his craft, Sammy has emerged as the leading butcher on the island. His livestock farm currently comprises an impressive herd of over 430 animals, including 40 heads of cattle, 200 pigs, 60 goats, 100 chickens, and 30 sheep. Mr. Paquette actively sells weekly in the local market, providing high-quality meat products to the community. Beyond the Roseau market, he has established connections with various restaurants, supermarkets, and hotels, delivering fresh produce to their establishments. Samuel Paquette is not just a successful livestock farmer, he is also a true community icon. His contributions extend to empowering young men in his community through employment opportunities. Currently, he employs over 10 individuals, further solidifying his role as a mentor and a benefactor. In recognition of his outstanding achievements, Samuel Paquette stands as an exemplary figure in the livestock industry, embodying the values of hard work, dedication, and community spirit. Most Outstanding Extension Officer of the Year, Mr. Asher Burton. Mr. Asher Burton, popularly known as Ash, was born in the eastern community of Crayfish River in the Kalinago Territory. He recalls his parents being supportive of him during school and at home. He attributes his work ethics to their persistence and support. Asher is liked by all and highly respected for his technical skills. He graduated from the University of the Great West Plains in Venezuela in July 2013 as an agronomist. He started working with the Ministry of Agriculture in July of 2014 as a quarantine officer at the Douglas Charles Airport, later transferring to Extension in 2015 as field assistant, serving approximately 400 farmers in the Kalinago territory. He also serves as a pesticide inspector, whose task it is to manage pesticide nationally while ensuring the safety of all citizens. He has proven to be a consistent and reliable worker and has been elevated through the ranks to Agricultural Officer 3 in 2020. Presently, Mr. Burton is one of 8 qualified drone pilots who was trained by the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, in 2022 through a scholarship program to better improve data collection and provide real-time information for decision-making. Mr. Burton is a leader by all measures and will no doubt continue to play a pivotal role in Dominica's agriculture. Mr. Burton, or Ash, comes highly recommended by the rank and file of the Ministry of Agriculture for the award for Most Outstanding Extension Officer of the Year. The award for longest serving commercial crop farmer, Mr. Whitnell Joseph Louis. Mr. Whitnell Joseph Louis, at 91, has accumulated 73 years of farming experience as a successful commercial farmer operating in the West Agricultural Region. Born on September 27, 1932, Mr. Louis began his journey in agriculture at a very tender age, assisting his parents on the farm in the heights of Salisbury and on the Macushri estate. In 1950, at age 18, Mr. Louis took a bold step, ventured into full-time farming all on his own. He cultivated main crops such as bananas and coffee with his first cutlass, which he named Do Cuba. From 1950 to present, Mr. Louis has never wavered in producing crops for food and for market. In 1964, he purchased 14 acres of land from Mr. E.O. LeBlanc at a cost of $210, which enabled him to successfully raise his family, which consists of his wife and 13 children. Presently, Mr. Louis' agricultural enterprise is centered around 31.2 acres of fertile agricultural lands in the Syndicate catchment area, where he cultivates from germplasm of over 60 crop types. As a result of labor unavailability, he was forced to abandon 21 acres of citrus and cocoa, which has greatly decreased his farm income, and this he sadly laments. Mr. Louis cites a number of issues depressing agricultural production in Dominica, but he is confident that if crops such as cocoa, coffee, coconut, and citrus are selected and treated with the prominence they deserve, the agricultural sector will be successful. He believes that Dominica needs its own flagship crop. Mr. Louis is a very dedicated farmer and responds well to suggestions and advice given to him by his extension team. And understandably, Mr. Louis is also a knowledgeable teacher to our many extension farmers, officers. Mr. Kevon Vidal, Dominica Youth in Sustainable Agriculture of the Year. Hardworking and innovative young man are certainly words that can describe a 25-year-old Kevon Vidal of the farming community of Salisbury. Mr. Vidal was born into a farming family in 1996, and when he was only 9 years old, he started his own vegetable farm alongside that of his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Kelman Vidal. At that tender age, Mr. Vidal had no idea that he was setting the stage to become one of the successful young entrepreneurs in the field of agriculture in Dominica. Presently, Mr. Vidal farms approximately 8 acres of mixed crops, which include watermelons, pumpkins, cucumbers, passion fruit, seasoning peppers, and a range of green leafy vegetables. Seen as a role model in his community, Mr. Vidal continues to overcome many challenges, steadfast in his quest for farming excellence. In passion fruit production, he has distinguished himself not just as a leading farmer, but he produces superb quality. Recently, at the Market Day with a Difference, Mr. Vidal was presented with an Excellence Award. Receiving this Dominica Youth in Sustainable Agriculture of the Year award is no surprise. Mr. Vidal believes that for Dominica to succeed, agriculture must be successful. He is therefore calling on the youth of Dominica to get involved and take advantage of the opportunities that exist in the sector.
Thank you very much, Honorable Royer, and we would also like to say thanks to the Ministry of Agriculture, Springfield Trading, Jacko Feeds, Pinnacle Law Chambers, Jungle Bay, and WSC for their contribution to these awards. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Prime Minister to present the final award, which is the award for the Dominica Farmer of the Year, and we are very pleased that this award is sponsored by Tranquility Beach, Dominica.
Dominica Farmer of the Year, Mr. Steve Edward LeQuent. A dedicated, experienced, and successful commercial farmer. That's 55-year-old Edward LeQuent from the community of Coolibistry. Mr. LeQuent was birthed and trained in a family of dedicated, hardworking farmers. During his early childhood days, his passion was to become a carpenter. However, his father, Mr. Raphael LeQuent, now deceased, successfully changed his mind. He continued to work and assist his family on the farm, which was not an easy task, having to walk through the tracks for 2 hours before getting to the farm since there were no motorable roads. Crops such as citrus, coffee, bananas, and vegetables were grown on the farm, and production had to be carried by the head before the family was able to purchase 3 donkeys to assist in that task. At age 55, Mr. LeQuent has accumulated 39 years of farming experience. He features among the most prominent farmers in Dominica. He has always undertaken every crop establishment on a commercial level. For example, large-scale production of white potatoes, ginger, watermelons, cabbage, sweet corn, and pumpkin, among others, such as tanya, yams, and dashing, though these are done on a much smaller scale. His agricultural enterprises are always properly planned and managed with technical assistance provided by the extension staff of the Division of Agriculture. Though Mr. LeQuent suffered several setbacks from natural disaster, including the loss of his farm vehicle from Tropical Storm Erica and 100% loss from Hurricane Maria, he was not deterred, always bouncing back and doing better. Mr. LeQuent is calling on the youth of Dominica to get involved in agriculture and see it for what it is, a lucrative business. Mr. LeQuent is well deserving of this award, and he sees it as a morale booster. Dominica Farmer of the Year, Mr. Edward Lequent.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, and another round of applause for all of our awardees this afternoon. I think most of us here, while I'm speaking for myself, are very inspired with all the rains that we have had. At least we can start in our backyard and we can work our way up. Thank you very much again to all of those, all of our partners who have come on board to sponsor and support agriculture by presenting these awards today. I would now like to invite, and I would like to thank Mrs. Deondira Smith, our press secretary, for presenting these citations and these awards today. I would now like to invite Honorable Julian Defoe, Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, and Honorable Akia Joseph, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, to offer the vote of thanks. While they are on their way, we would now like to present a fruit basket, to the spouse of Her Excellency, Mr. Burton. And we also have a bouquet of flowers for Honorable Melissa Popon-Skerrit, Minister for Housing and Urban Development. We will also have a plaque presented to, or a gift, I should say, presented to Dr. Renata Clark, FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator.
We just had the presentation of several awards to deserving people in the field of agriculture, and also in presentation of bouquets. Well-organized activity by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. The award ceremony in celebration of World Food Day. Of course, World Food Day was observed on the 16th of October, and the ceremony was scheduled for some few days after. But because of the impending storm, at that time it was Hurricane Tammy, the event had to be postponed. So here we are today at the State House Conference Center, bringing you this to you live. There's a theme for this event. Water is life, water
Ladies
is
and
food,
gentlemen,
leave no one behind.
I'm here just to confirm that this is a government of a lot of beautiful and wonderful looking people. So that is all my role is. But Ms. Joseph will give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Defoe, for the moral support. I appreciate it. Let me once again recognize Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Burton, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Honorable Melissa Skerrit, the wife of the Honorable Prime Minister, Minister for Housing and Urban Development, and the Parliamentary Representative for the Rural Central Constituency, Honorable Joseph Isaac, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Roland Royer, our dear Honorable Roland Royer, the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, and the Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Julian Defoe, my moral support, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and the Blue Economy, other honorable members of Cabinet, Dr. Renata Clark, FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator for the Caribbean Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Ms. Corinne Prevost, the Secretary to the Cabinet, Mr. Ryan Anselm, Acting Permanent Secretary, other Permanent Secretaries, Mrs. Deondira Smith, Government Press Secretary, Pastor Jody Andrew, the members of the media, distinguished guests, students, our awardees, farmers, families, thank you for being here and thank you for celebrating with us. I extend a profound appreciation for the presence at this cutting-edge National Agriculture and Fisheries Award ceremony marking World Food Day 2023, themed Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind. just take a moment to think about if we had to survive on rice and macaroni and spaghetti and Kool-Aid juice in Dominica for a very, very long time. So big kudos to the resilient farmers and fishers and agro-processors of Dominica, the unsung heroes of our progressive agricultural landscape. Your unwavering commitment propels us toward a future where innovation meets sustainability. Special thanks to the organizers, dynamic sponsors, and forward-thinking partners who have catalyzed this event. Your collective efforts underscore our commitment to propelling Dominica into a new era of agricultural excellence. To Mr. Felix Leslie, Mr. Simeon Revelia Centros, Mr. Alfonso de Gallery, Mr. Joseph Blanford, Ms. Glenda Thomas, and Ms. Evelyn Adams, thank you for your unwavering support and service to the Ministry of Agriculture and the agricultural sector over the past a lot of years. Do It Center, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, Bloombox, the Central Cooperative Credit Union Limited, Autotrade, the National Bank of Dominica, Springfield Trading Company Limited, Tranquility Beach, Bloombox, Jacko Feeds, Sunstone Inc., Pinnacle Law Chambers of Dominica, Jungle Bay, Agri-Sales and Services Company, the National Development Foundation of Dominica, World University Service of Dominica, as we say, of Canada, sorry, United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office of Dominica, and most importantly, the Ministry of Agriculture and the Government of Dominica. Thank you. As one of the youth ministers, I am genuinely inspired by the youth dynamism within our agricultural and fisheries sectors. Let's harness this energy to propel our agricultural sector forward, ensuring a resilient and thriving future for our nation. In the spirit of water is life, water is food, let us forge ahead, embracing progressive strategies that not only acknowledge our past, but set the stage for a sustainable, vibrant, and inclusive agricultural future in Dominica. Once again, let us put our hands together loudly for our national heroes, the farmers, fishers, and agro-processors. I thank you.
And thank you very much for this vote of thanks, and also thank you to your moral support. We are very pleased to have been here today. I think we had a very productive afternoon. I would like to thank all of us for being present here today, and those of you who listened via the various forms of social media and joined us this afternoon. We want to thank you for your participation. At this time, I would like to invite us to stand for the departure of Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton and Mr. Burton, and I would also like to invite you to remain for a few light refreshments and entertainment. Thank you.
So now we have the departure of Her Excellency, the President of Dominica, Sylvanie Burton, DAH, and her husband as well, as we come to the end of the official part of the ceremony, the end of the ceremony more so, at the State House Conference Center. As I mentioned earlier, a number of awards being presented to people who have and continue to make a significant contribution towards the development of agriculture in Dominica. So it's really a huge day for agriculture. Agriculture has taken the spotlight here at the Conference Center at the State House. So it's truly a big occasion for the agriculture sector in Dominica, especially when you talk about food security and the challenges that we continue to face as a small island developing state. The fact that we can recognize the people who have made a significant contribution to agriculture, of course, this is a big achievement for us. World Food Day was observed on the 16th of October. Of course, that ceremony could not be held around that time. I think it was pushed to the 20th of October, but because of the passage of Hurricane Tammy, around that time, of course, we were under tropical storm watch, under hurricane watch rather, and a tropical storm warning that time, and we had to push this function. So a number of awards there have been presented at the State House Conference Center. The Ministry of Agriculture Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy organizing this event. I'm trying to speak louder than the person at the podium right now, and of course you can well imagine a lot of people are talking at this time because it's really a full house, really a packed house at the state house, the conference center, and there's a call for awardees group photos. I'll see if I can speak with one or two of the awardees. I'll see how that can work in a setting like this, and if not, of course, I'm sure that Curtis Matthew will capture a lot of it on the news. But if you're joining now, let me just go back in terms of the awardees who received the awards today, the people who received the awards today. So I'll give a fair idea again as to who received what. I can also mention as well that a few retirees were recognized, retirees in the Division of Agriculture. So like Mr. Felix Leslie, who has been there for many years. Well, I think he retired in May of this year. Felix Leslie did so much, for the development of agriculture in Dominica. Mr. Simeon Revelia St. Rose as well was recognized as a retiree. So too Mr. Alfonso Di Gallery, Mr. Joseph Blandford, Ms. Glenda Thomas, Mr. Evelyn Adams. So they were recognized for their contribution in agriculture and having retired, of course, after serving for so many years, outstanding service for so many years in the field of agriculture. So we say congratulations to people like that. Let me give you an idea as to the other awardees as well, because their names, we have to keep mentioning their names. So people like Gillis Carbon John Baptist. She received the award for Most Outstanding Woman in Sustainable Agriculture. And if you did not hear the citation, you may hear it again, because of course we are also bringing this live on Facebook, so you can also always listen to it after. But Gillis Carbon John Baptist has and continues to make a very, very significant contribution to agriculture in Dominica. She farms in Capuchin. She's from Capuchin. She's also a community person, and she has done so much for that area. So she received the award for Most Outstanding Woman in Agriculture, in Sustainable Agriculture. An award as well went to the Most Outstanding Producer Organization of the Year, and that award went to the Central Universal Farmers Group. So I think a group of about 4 or 5 women came up to receive that award, so we say congratulations to them. There was also the award for Most Outstanding Agricultural Service Provider of the Year, and that award went to Odile Valmore. The Most Outstanding Secondary School Agricultural Program of the Year was presented to Pierre Charles Secondary School, and a few students were here, of course, with a teacher or teachers as well. And it was really a proud moment to see young people, going up to receive an award at a ceremony like this. And then the Daly's Primary School, young people again, received the Most Outstanding Primary School Agricultural Program of the Year. And we understood from the citation that they have a large expanse of land where they do their farming, and the agriculture. So hats off to the teachers and the staff and the students as well of the Daly's Primary School receiving the Most Outstanding Primary School Agricultural Program of the Year. Samuel Paquette, Most Outstanding Livestock Farmer of the Year, very popular man at the market, and we learned from his citation, how much he has. He has so many, I would say, he has done a lot in agriculture. He has also things like goats and cows and all of that, of course. And we say hats off to Samuel Paquette. Glenworth Cyril was awarded the Most Productive Traditional Crop Enterprise of the Year. The award for Best Backyard Farm of the Year went to Edmund Thomas. Most innovative and technology-driven farm of the year, Vince Morgan. The Most Resilient Farmer of the Year, that award went to Jeffrey Bruni. I'm trying to compete with the noise there because it's really a lot of people at the State House Conference Center. So let me just go on before I end. Asher Burton, he received the award for Most Outstanding Extension Officer of the Year. The award for Long-Serving Farmer Fisher Recognition Award went to Mr. Whitney Louis. And Whitney Louis has been involved in agriculture from a very, very young age. In fact, he's 91 years. So you can well imagine how much he has done for the agricultural sector in Dominica. The Dominica Agro-Process of the Year, the award went to Terry Henry. Marvin Daniel, the Dominica Aquaculture Producer of the Year. The Dominica Fish of the Year, the award went to Kerwin Deluge. Kevin Vidal, the Dominica Youth in Sustainable Agriculture of the Year. And the Dominica Farmer of the Year, that was a big award, being presented to Steve LeQuint. So these people received the awards here at the State House Conference Center, as the spotlight is really on agriculture today, as we brought to life the National Agriculture and Fisheries Awards ceremony in celebration of World Food Day 2023 at the State House Conference Center. And very well attended, very well organized as well by the ministry, which has responsibility for agriculture, also for fisheries, and their blue and green economy. I'm sure you'll get much more on the news as well. Curtis Murphy, of course, doing some interviews. I'm trying to see if I can do that as well, but it doesn't look possible at this time. It really doesn't look possible at this time. But what we can say, though, as we end, though, is really congratulate again all those who received the award, all the retirees as well, who have done so much for agriculture. It surely was a pleasure bringing you this event live. We were at the State House Conference Room. We still are there, of course. And that sits on behalf of our technician on duty, Aaron Wilshire, and my Ivona John Baptist Luge. And we will take you back to the Ted Daly Studio, Studio 1 at DBS Radio.